With so many new players and returning players looking for new gear, new weapons, and exotics, Countdown has become a fan favorite for a good reason. Now, if you guys are new, I will tell you guys the difference between playing Countdown on Challenging and Heroic is very slim. And if you're new, you're probably going to have a lot more fun doing Challenging and have more success rate at completing each Countdown. Now, don't forget to select your targeted loot for Countdown, and that is the main reason most players are farming this, because you can specifically select whatever loot you want to farm, whether it's SMGs, ARs, shotguns, rifles, backpacks, chest pieces, brand sets, or gear sets. You can select that in Countdown, and that's what makes it one of the best farming spots in the Division 2. Now, the first thing you should do once you arrive to Countdown is open up your map, and what you're going to be doing is going to each one of these terminals. These terminals are actually going to be guarded by hunters, especially if you're playing on Challenging or Heroic. A little trick you can do is if you open your map and see where the other squad is, like if they would start here and we start there, we would push to our left. Now, if we start across from them, sometimes it just doesn't matter. But if you ever do start close to them, you can link up with them at a terminal, and that way you guys can get all 4 hunters together. If not, sometimes you might just get 2 or 3 of them, depending on how fast your team is. And the reason why you want to activate those terminals is because they will give you different types of damage boosts that help you defeat the enemy while you're playing Countdown. Now, if we were on Challenging or Heroic, we would have ran into 4 different hunters. I solo queued just so that I could show you guys this, but make sure you guys matchmake when you guys are playing Challenging or Heroic, because you will not be able to complete this solo on Challenging or Heroic. You will end up getting killed. So I am on normal right now, but this is just to show you how this all works. That way you new returning players don't feel confused when you dive into Countdown. Now, once you guys have fully captured all 3 terminals, that is when you guys are going to go after your encounters. You can see we have our main encounter is going to be at the reactor, but we have 3 small encounters we need to complete. Most teams will not do the one that says protect the VIP. They will avoid that one because the rounds are very long. There's a lot of spawn rates. Depending how good your team is, what difficulty you're on, it doesn't, at that point, it might not matter. But if you are playing on Challenging or Heroic, a lot of teams avoid that one and they will do everything but protect the VIP. And then when you complete 2 encounters, you will get the main encounter unlocked. Now, once you complete the main objective, you'll be able to go extract. And that's when the fun begins, because this is where you're going to get a lot of those named items from those hunters. Hunters drop a ton of named items, so make sure you go there. They're also going to be a ton of loot because you get a lot of enemies. This is probably where you get most of your named item loot when you guys are farming Countdown. Also, this is probably where you'll get a lot of your exotics, even though it's all random. But again, there's a lot of enemies in this area. So hopefully you guys can make it this far. And that's why you want to be able to make it this far and clear this out and clear it out as fast as possible. Again, if you guys are playing on Heroic and you guys don't have builds, this is going to feel like a pain. That's why I recommend, if you guys are lower shade level and your builds aren't really optimized, stick to Challenging. You'll have more fun. And I'll even tell you, the roles between Challenging and Heroic on Countdown, they're not that much different. We did a test last night and we ran a few Challenging, we ran a few Heroic. I'll tell you, you'll even find more higher levels in Challenging because they know the success rate of completing it is a lot better. And a lot of you guys might say, what's the point of completing it? Well, you guys end up getting some Countdown credits that you guys can use to buy exotic caches, name caches, or even the name items of the week. And I'll show you that in just a second. One final tip for Countdown. When you guys get to this final area, do not call the extraction until you're around maybe the 20-second mark. The reason why is because another chopper will keep coming in over and over, and you can farm those, and sometimes you can get some of the loot you're looking for. So a lot of teams, they will wait until the chopper timer gets to around 20 seconds, 15 seconds, and they'll just keep farming these other choppers that keep coming in and dropping enemies off, and then they'll just get the loot that they're looking for. And I'll tell you, I remember doing this, and during one of these last choppers, I ended up getting an exotic that I really needed back when I was farming exotics in Countdown. So definitely I would recommend waiting to the end too, and then call it in, and then you just have to extract. Now, depending on how many hunters you kill, and depending on how many objectives you clear, that's going to be the total amount of countdown points you get. As you can see at the top, for heroic, we got a total of 208. We got 129 points for extraction. We got encounter bonus +2. We got dog tags that you get from the hunters +72. And then we got 5 for mission complete. Now, on challenging, this is going to be a little bit less because you do get more points for completing it on heroic. But if you do not complete it, you do not get these bonuses. And well, you can see right here, I have 11,244 countdown reacquisition points. What do I do with these? Well, if you actually go down this ramp and then you head over directly across from the pilot, you'll see the countdown station. And here you can end up buying exotic caches for 224. You can buy the current season caches for 145, optimizational caches for 145, named caches for 112. And then weekly, you get 3 different named items right here that you can buy for 75. There's another chance of getting exotics. Again, remember what I mentioned. If you guys are newer, I would recommend sticking to challenging, not for the fact that the enemies are a little bit less tanky, but the success rate is better. You can also complete challenging a lot faster, and the rolls difference isn't that much more. You're still going to get a ton of loot, so that's not a factor there. So again, new players, that is my biggest recommendation. I've been seeing a lot of level 10s, 100s sitting in heroic countdown, when in reality, you could sit in challenging, have 100% success rate, and well, you can get those extra points and then hopefully be able to buy those exotics you need. Well, I'm going to wrap up this video. Those are just my key takeaways from Countdown, and hopefully this was a guide to get you guys in Countdown, having more successful runs, and well, being able to get those exotics, named items, or gear sets you've been looking for. See you guys in the next one. Nothing but skills out. Take it easy, everybody.